Unfortunately, I have not been able to find a whole bunch of games recently, no big buys, but there's been a handful of smaller buys over the course of some time that were probably, I think, too small for a video at the time, but they've accumulated a little bit, so let's go through them. For those of you that don't know, aside from my general videos of me making a fool of myself playing games, I also collect video games, namely for the PS2. As you can see in the back, I'm a big PS2 fan, but I also buy games across other systems passively, but I mostly actively look for PS2 games. I'll look for games at flea markets online, like Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, things like that, and a couple of the items are from a flea market from last weekend, but the rest are from just online buys that I had maybe in the last couple months. The first stack here is of PS1 and PS2 games. I think I got this whole stack for about 20 bucks, really good deal. No cases though. Usually, I think I've started to give myself a rule that I won't buy PS2 games if they don't have a case. Maybe if it's like a really good game that I don't have the case for, or that I don't have already, I'll buy it. But this was a good deal, and a lot of the games are pretty good, so it's exciting. The first game we have here is Crash Bandicoot Warped. The back's pretty scratched up. I haven't tested any of these yet, so I guess we'll just have to see if they work. I love the Crash Bandicoot games. My personal favorite is Crash 2. I'd probably rank them 2, then 3, which is Warped, and then 1, then probably Wrath of Cortex for the first 4. But they're all so good. Warped is really fun. I think, in my opinion, I think Crash 1 is a little bit too hard. I think Crash 2 is kind of the sweet spot. I think they really just hit their stride in Crash 2. I think Warped is a little bit easier, but also a little bit more, I guess, wacky, more fun. The levels are really colorful, and yeah, great game. Great game. The next game we have here is Summoner on the PS2. The disc looks okay, some scratches, but not too bad. I've never played Summoner, but I should really give it a shot. I don't really know much about it, honestly. Don't know if it's considered good, bad. Let me know in the comments. I don't know. The next game we have is Star Wars Battlefront 2, obviously a classic. I played so much of this growing up. It really is a blast. I just can't get enough. Can't get enough. Oh boy. However, unfortunately, the disc has a major crack in the middle, and I assume it's not going to work. But that's okay. That's okay. The next game is True Crime New York City. I got really excited for a moment because I thought this was Def Jam New York, Fight for New York City, but it certainly is not. Don't know too much about this game, have not played it, but I really want to try it now that I have it. The next game is Colosseum Road to Freedom. I have played this game before. It's actually quite fun. I think it kind of flies under the radar, just for PS2 games in general. So you're basically a gladiator who's trying to earn your way to freedom by fighting a bunch of other combatants, and it's pretty fun. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like, you know, the greatest PS2 game ever made, but it's fun. And I think it's fun to sit down and play for 20 minutes to an hour, whatever, with friends. It's fun. It's a good game. Decently scratched up. The next game is SOCOM US Navy SEALs, SOCOM 2 US Navy SEALs. Again, I think I said this in a prior video. I think SOCOM is okay. I haven't played too much of it growing up. It's honestly, one thing that stands out to me though every time I do play it is just how complicated of a shooter it is. There's so many different mechanics you could use with your squad, with yourself, with your guns. It's surprisingly complex for a tactical shooter on the PS2. The back is a little scratched, not crazy. The next game is a classic, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I certainly have played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I think my favorite Tony Hawk's game though is Tony Hawk's Underground and Underground 2. I like the first one a little bit more. Those hold a very special place in my heart, but I do like the Pro Skater games. Definitely played these as a kid. Obviously, classic. The back is pretty scratched up. The next one is Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny. Haven't played this one. I've heard the Onimusha games are pretty good. I'm excited to try it at some point, but here it is. The disc looks not great. The next one is Snowcross Championship Racing on the PS1. Haven't played this one either. I'm assuming it's some kind of snow-based racing game, maybe skiing. Don't know, but yeah, maybe I'll give it a shot at some point. Pretty scratched up. The next game I am so excited about. It is Razor Freestyle Scooter. I am so excited to give this a shot. I've never before seen any kind of, I guess, skating-esque game with a razor. That is so cool. This is real X Games stuff right here. Like most PS1 games, in the wild, it is scratched. The next game here is Darkwatch on PS2. I have played Darkwatch before, but I think it was only briefly at a PS2 night I had with some friends. From what I remember, it's like a super metal, like hardcore first-person shooter where you shoot a bunch of like skeletons and demons and other stuff. I remember being fun. I don't remember too much, but I do want to give it a shot again. I think this game's pretty highly received. I think people generally like this game a lot, so I'm excited to play it again. Pretty scratched up, like the rest of them, unfortunately. The next game is the Mega Man Anniversary Collection. I feel like a non-gamer saying this, but I haven't played too much Mega Man. Obviously, I've seen friends play it before. I have played it every now and then, like a tiny bit, like at friends' places and stuff, but not a whole bunch. I do want to start playing the Mega Man games even more, though. And the Anniversary Collection might be a good way to start. Maybe. Let me know in the comments. Actually, let me know in the comments, what is the best Mega Man game to play as like a first Mega Man game that I actually fully play through? Is it just the first one? Let me know. Let me know. The next one, a classic. I wouldn't say it's like amazing, but ATV Off-Road Fury 2. I definitely played this as a kid. It's good, I guess. I don't know. Is it somewhere between fine and good? I'm not a big fan of ATV Off-Road Fury. I think there are better motocross games out there, or similar-esque kind of like racing games. I mean, Downhill Domination for me is kind of like maybe the best racing game ever made now that I have it and I've played it. I know those of you watching have heard me rant on about that before. But yeah, I mean, solid game. I mean, it's good. It's not bad. It's definitely not a bad game. Decently scratched up. These are all so scratched up. It's so sad to see, but who knows? Hopefully, maybe one day I'll get a case for all of them. I mean, they do have cases, but they're like these little plastic, kind of like flimsy ones. But maybe, if I ever see an empty case for these games, I will certainly get them. The next games I bought because they were $1 each, and I couldn't help myself, even though I already have them. It is Guitar Hero World Tour and Dance Dance Revolution Supernova. Again, I already have them. I think they've maybe even both been in a video before that I've done. But these are the new ones. I got them last weekend at a flea market. I couldn't help myself. Honestly, I think $1 for a PS2 game, no matter what PS2 game it is a good deal. And if you're looking for PS2 games, it's kind of a no-brainer buy if you have a couple bucks to spare. But I'm starting to get to a point where I'm like, if I already have 1, 2, maybe 3 copies of a PS2 game, do I really want to buy another one for $1? And the answer usually recently has been no. Even though like it goes against like the idea of like $1 PS2 game. That's crazy. That's awesome, right? No matter what the game is. But it's, yeah, I don't regret buying them, but I really need to be more cognizant of the duplicates that I already have. And I should try to shy away from more duplicates because it's just space. The games take up a lot of space, and it's something I need to think about this more. Guitar Hero has the manual and looks pretty good. Light scratches, but not crazy. Dance Dance Revolution has the manual as well, and the disc looks okay. Some light scratches, some smudges, not horrible. Okay, the next thing really surprised me because I had no idea it existed. It is, let me open this up. It is a God of War Prima strategy guide, but on a disc. That kind of blows my mind. I didn't know these existed. I didn't know Prima guides had discs. I thought it was just all the booklets and whatnot, but this is honestly kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Shocking, I guess. Light scratches, not crazy. Okay, this is the last PS2 related item that I got, but it really excites me. It is a PSM PlayStation 2 magazine, but more importantly, it's a magazine that references some of my favorite games like Medal of Honor Frontline. It references GTA in here. Just a ton of crazy memories live in this magazine. I honestly am so excited to sift through it. I've already read through some of it, but I'm really excited to just really sit down and read through it. It's a nostalgia bomb, which for me is awesome. I mean, big reason why I do any collecting whatsoever is because it just reminds me of when I was a kid and just, yeah, I love nostalgia hits for sure. This is PSM number 59 for anyone who's wondering, June 2002. Devil May Cry 2 Volume 6. The next purchase is a system, and I'm really excited about it because I've always wanted it, but never wanted to spend a crazy amount of money for it, but I got an insane deal for it. It is none other than the Nintendo Switch. I'm so excited. I think the last Nintendo system that I have, like the most recent one, is a 3DS, which I still use every now and then. I'm still playing through Omega Ruby. One of my friends, if you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. It's taken me way too long to beat it. I'm so excited to have this now. Honestly, I'm probably gonna mostly just play like Pokemon games and stuff on it whenever I can find one for a relatively good deal. I also definitely want to play Breath of the Wild and a couple other games, but probably mostly Pokemon and stuff. But we'll see. Maybe Animal Crossing. Who knows? The guy I bought it from was moving. I think he wanted to just sell it the same day, so it was a really, really good deal. It also came with 5 games. I won't do a one by one, but there they are. Got Splatoon 2, Sonic Mania and Sonic Racing, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Mario Party Superstars, and Super Mario 3D. I am excited to try all these. I will try them at some point. Yeah, I'm stoked about this deal. It makes me happy to be able to finally try the Switch. It also came with this Animal Crossing carrying case and the little Switch, Nintendo Switch controller contraption thingamabob. All right, the last thing I bought is extremely exciting. My brother and I saw it and we're just like, we kind of have to buy this, right? We kind of have to. It was $2. I think money well spent. Actually, wait, did I haggle to $1? I think it's $2 and I think I haggled it to $1. I'm pretty sure. It is the VHS of the first Alien movie. What we did was a couple nights ago, we had friends over and we played this on this TV right here behind me. The one that's usually sitting behind me. I brought it out to the living room and we played it, the movie on it, and it looks so good on a condensed CRT, like small screen. It looks really, really good. But fun movie. If you hadn't seen Alien yet, it's a classic horror, thriller, alien movie on a ship in space. What more could you ask for? All right, now it's time for an honorable mention. I have it right in the back here. Per usual, it is none other than Soul Calibur 2. I'm not much of a fighting game person. I haven't played a whole bunch of fighting games, especially not growing up. And so usually I don't play them that much because my friends always just crush me in them anyway. But they're still fun to play. But Soul Calibur 2 is definitely the fighting game that I put most time in. It's a blast. It's a blast. I played it for countless hours as a kid, always getting crushed by my brother and my other friends and stuff. I remember playing through the arcade mode, unlocking the characters. It's fun. I feel like every time we do a PS2 night when my friends come over, we always end up playing this at some point in the night, or most nights we end up playing it. And me and Everett, EGB Streams, I'll put a link in the description. He streams Mondays and Wednesdays. Check him out. I'm always there. We always end up playing this. And for some reason, I'm not a super competitive person. I think a little bit, like it depends on what's happening, like what I'm doing, what I'm playing. If I'm pretty good at something, I tend to get a little competitive, but I'm not crazy competitive. But this brings out something in me that is so like, I become like a different person. I become so into it and so invested. Everett knows I'm probably super annoying when we play. I get so hyped and so into it, and yeah, but it's a blast. It's always a blast to play with friends, and wonderful fighting game. If you haven't played Soul Calibur 2, if you like fighting games and haven't played Soul Calibur 2, definitely try it. If you're not big into fighting games, maybe even give it a try anyway. It's a blast. It has a fun arcade mode, single player. You don't have to play against anybody. Obviously, there's no online on PS2 these days, but always fun to play with friends, split screen. It's a blast. Definitely give it a shot if you get the chance. Yeah. All right, and with that, I'm going to close out. Thank you all so much for watching. It means a lot to me. If you like the content, leave a like down below, comment, subscribe. That also means the world to me. Let me know in the comments your favorite PS2 games or any of these games that you've played before that you are really into. Also for Nintendo Switch games, let me know in the comments if there's any specific Switch game I should probably look for or try to buy, try to play. Let me know. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Thanks.